Alright guys, so as the title suggests, I really want to talk to you guys why I sold my 2023 Mach 1. In case you guys didn't know, I bought 2023 Mach 1 back in 2023. I actually was the first owner, and I sold my beloved 03 Cobra just to acquire that car. And I recently sold it and purchased this car. This is a 2016 Mustang GT. I am the second owner. Bought it with 54,000 miles. Currently sitting at 55,000 miles. So I just want to kind of talk to you guys why I made that decision of selling arguably the best NA Mustang that you could possibly buy. I say arguably because there's this little car, I don't know if you heard about it, the Shelby GT350, which is amazing. So think about the Mach 1 kind of like a GT350 with a Coyote instead of the Voodoo. And now I'm not gonna get into which one is better. I already made a video about which one I think is better and why I actually went with the Mach 1 over the Shelby GT350. I'm gonna link it up here. So if you guys are curious to hear my thoughts on the Mach 1 versus Shelby, all of my thoughts are right there. So this video, I just want to talk to you guys about why I basically sold that car and went to an older car, older platform, less horsepower, MT82 versus the Tremec. And that was one of the big reasons why I wanted a Mach 1, because I wanted to stay away from the MT82. So my first point that I sold that car, it was because basically it was sitting a lot. That car, it's a weekend toy, and it was just basically sitting more than what I actually thought I was gonna be driving the car. So I only put about right around 3,000 miles the very first year that I had it, and that was me actually trying to drive it. I actually took a couple long trips just to put some miles on that car, because honestly it was just sitting a lot. So another reason why I actually sold the car, it was because I wanted to modify that car. Now, given the fact that the car, it was already depreciating, the fact that, to do what I wanted to do, which was put a supercharger on it, it was really going to at least not give any value, add more value to the car, if that makes sense. And putting a blower, you're talking about on a Mach 1, you're talking about at least $10,000 to $15,000 that you gotta come up out of your own pocket just to be able to do that. And that was money that you were really never gonna see that money back again, because honestly, those Mustangs are worth more originals, just bone stock, because I understand, a lot of the owners, they want cars, a lot of the next owners, they just want cars that have not been tampered with or modified. They want to be able to know that the car is actually hasn't gone through any type of abuse. And if you put a blower, chances are that you're ripping on that thing and stressing every component, like your trans, your axles, because let's be honest, those cars came with 480 horsepower at the crank and you're pushing out 800, so you're pretty much stressing every single component of that car, even though those are really well built cars and actually could really take the abuse and the boost really, really well. There you go. Also, another motivating factor on why I sold the car, it was because I had equity in it, because I was able to sell my pretty much paid off 03 Cobra and put it into that car, so use it as a down payment. I had some equity built into that car, so that gave me some flexibility to actually go ahead and buy this car. And I'm gonna give you a quick review of my ownership experience with the Mach 1. Guys, the best Mustang that I ever had was my 2023 Mach 1. It had the Tremec, it had the Gen 3 Coyote, it had all the oil coolers, He had everything. It was just an amazing experience. It was a bucket list thing that I did for myself. I always wanted to own a brand new Mustang. Always wanted that. You know, that was something that I really wanted to do, even if it was an EcoBoost. You know, just a brand new Mustang. And you know, being the fact that my very first new Mustang was a Mach 1, it was just a really unique experience. And I love the S550s. I'm not a huge fan of the S650, so being able to own that car was really something, you know, an experience. So I you know, there's not a single complaint that I had. The only regret that I had with the Mach 1 was that I should have gotten the handling package because of the wheels and extra little things that came with that car. So that was the only thing. But that is exactly what's gonna bring me out to my next point about this car. So the Mach 1 is pretty much a circuit car, so it's a track ready weapon for circuit, and it'll keep up with some of the best handling cars, you know, for that price point, and even double its price point. It's truly an amazing car. So when I did the Mach 1 at track, so when you buy a Mach 1, you're basically invited to this program, which is called the Track Attack program, and it allows you to take your car, not exactly your car, but just a Mach 1 on the track and be able to experience what that is like. And so I took my car, and oddly enough, the cars that the instructors were driving were Gen 2s, Mustang GTs, Gen 2s. If you don't know, it's the 15 through 17 Mustang GT with a performance package. And that was something that really opened up my eyes, because whenever we were chasing those instructors on those, you know, we're supposedly in this way superior car, which is the Mach 1, right? It's the pinnacle of NA Mustang at that time. You know, especially in 2023, it's the pinnacle of handling NA Mustang, and we're getting our ass kicked by this 2015 performance pack Mustang GT. So it got me thinking. The Mach 1 it's obviously the better handling car. There's no argument about it, with the Magna Ride, all the oil coolers, all the chassis tweaks that they did. But it got me thinking. It's not really all about the car. Honestly, 99% of it is the driver. When you are out there on track, definitely you want to have a good handling car. It's like having a good weapon. But if you don't know how to use that weapon, do I track the car? I had to have this conversation within myself. No. Do I like to drive the car sparingly from time to time on a back road? Sure. Do I really need all that handling superpowers to really be able to push the car outside of my comfort zone and you know, potentially hit another car, hit a tree or something? And the answer was no. I just didn't feel like that was something that I was actually going to do or risk. And so that got me thinking, what is something that you like to do on a Mustang? Straight line speed. I grew up wanted to go fast in a straight line. So I was like, you know what? I don't need this car if my goal is to go, you know, fast on a straight line. Actually, one of the quickest cars, at least that I've seen racing, NA stick, it's the 15 through 17 Mustang GTs. There's guys that have gone 9s in the quarter mile. NA, wow, this is super like lightweight, everything, you know, like E85, every single bolt on that you could. But the most impressive thing that they've done it on an MT82. I was like, man, how about a 15 through 17 Mustang GT with a blower? Will that make me more happy, or not make me more happy, because I think happiness is something that is within you, but is that something that you would actually enjoy more, right, per se? Because I do miss my supercharged 03 Cobra. And one thing that I miss is just the instantaneous torque from the blower, and just the RPM, and just the way that it builds power, and the blower whine, and all the drama that comes with the supercharger. So I was like, dude, stick, it's gotta be the Gen 2s. And the reason why it had to be a Gen 2, it's because in 2018 Ford came out with the MT82-4 or D4. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is an updated MT82 that had longer gears and weaker shift forks versus this MT82. This is actually one of the more strongest MT82s that you could get. And the beautiful thing about this gear is that first through fifth is actually a gear towards performance. This car is really geared towards performance, first to fifth, and then sixth gear is an overdrive. So, I talked to a lot of friends that I was like, what Mustang can I build that is gonna be reliable and is gonna be good stick? And every single one of them said Gen 2 Coyote. So as I did more research, I came to the conclusion that this is what I wanted. And so yeah, I thought this was the great candidate to be able to put that plan, which is to build a supercharged Mustang, into action. This is gonna bring me to my next reason. We're rolling here. This is gonna bring me to my next reason why I got 15 through 17 Mustang GT. So I think that in today's market, this is actually a bargain. So value for money, this is one of the best cars that you could actually get today. If you want a VA, reliable VA, proven, you got to think about it. When this cars came out in 2015, they were pretty much saying that it had the Boss 302 internals inside. And the reason why they say that is because the heads are very similar to the Boss 302s, even the cams and the way that they were able to, versus the Gen 1 Coyotes, they were able to run bigger valves and also more aggressive cams with more aggressive spring to be able to run more RPM. So this motor's stock could handle 8,000 I believe over 8,000 RPMs on stock valves and stock springs without getting any valve float. So it was called the Boss 302 engine, and because it was, the connecting rods were also forged. Gen 1 Coyotes 11 through 14s did not have forged connecting rods, so this motor could actually push about 1,000 wheel horsepower out of the stock motor, which is a big plus for me. Also, the computer was revised, and it is able to read a lot better information when it comes down to tuning. So tuning wise, it was better. I believe the computer was a lot better for tuning and be able to get better info when it comes down to tuning the car and data logging the vehicle. So yeah, having the forged motor, the stronger MT82. Another thing that I love about this car is that this car has a 355 gear ratio, and this thing loves to spin, man. It has so much torque. This car feels as fast as my stock Mach 1. Is it as fast? Honestly, I don't think so. The Mach 1 has more horsepower, but it feels faster or as fast because the gearing is more shorter, so you get into that power band and it just builds. And this thing feels a lot more muscle car than sports car versus the Mach 1. The Mach 1 felt a little bit more sports car. This thing feels more like a traditional Mustang in the sense that it's rowdy. First gear, it goes sideways, you throw second, and it wants to go kind of, it's a little bit scary. It sounds. Times, you know, where the back end kicks out and it just feels more raw. You know, it's hard to explain, but you know, another thing that I really do appreciate about this car, believe it or not, is that this car is the base car, so you're saving a lot, you're saving some weight with having the base car. Now I do miss the 8-inch infotainment. I think that's something that Ford should have kept even on the base cars, but you know, I really don't, for a car that only put about, you know, maybe 2,000, 3,000 miles per year, do I really need Apple CarPlay and all those things? No, I don't. This thing has Bluetooth, you know, you can talk on the phone, you know, hands-free, you know, it has AC, right? Something that we take for granted nowadays. It's pretty comfortable. The seats are, you know, they have a decent bolstering. And it just works. This car just, you know, it's everything that you need and nothing extra really that you don't. And when I mean nothing extra, it's really nothing extra. It has cruise control, so it just takes you back to the basics and really makes you reconsider what's really important in a modern car. Do you really need all that much, all that extra crap that they sell you? Another thing, this car has no modes. It only has one mode, and that's something silly, but you know, that's something that I actually do appreciate. I just want to drive the car. Is it nice to have modes? Sure. Is it nice to be able to modify your suspension and tailor it towards the type of driving that you're doing? Sure. Is it necessary? No, it's an extra. So, you know, it just gets you thinking about all these things and really puts it into perspective what's really necessary. Alright guys, there you guys have it. This is gonna do it for today's video. I absolutely love this car and I appreciate it exactly for what it is. And you know, it's just like I was saying on the video, it just takes you back to something more simple and something, you know, that at least at this point of my life I truly do appreciate. And I do appreciate making this car my own. Really love this headlights. This 15 to 17 front end looks so mean, and it's just a beautiful car all around. And yeah, I really love the lines of the S550. You know, the first design, the first stand of the S550, the 15 through 17, the hoods, little lights here, the light up on the 2016. There's so many things that I could go on about this car. In the future, I'm gonna make a full review of this car, which I haven't. I just kind of, you know, touch here and there. But I just to conclude, I love this car and I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you guys understand the decision. It has nothing to do with the Mach 1. Mach 1 was an amazing car. But for what I need, this is just a better platform, at least for me, for what I'm trying to build with this channel. And not only for this channel, for myself. So, all right, guys, this is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.